Hi, I'm Joseph Kateri, realtor in the state of Virginia, and today I will be showing you step by step how to become a real estate agent. This is my first ever video, so I thought this topic was pretty fitting, and make sure to watch until the end of the video to find out how. Alright, so if you're watching this video, you probably want to expand into the real estate market but don't know where to start. I kinda had the same reaction when I just left high school, and I wanted to enter the housing market, but there was nobody to tell me how, so I kinda went to YouTube. So in this video, I'll tell you the 5 major steps needed, and even how to save some money along the way. Oh, and make sure to stick around until step 4, because that's where it really gets interesting. Alright, so the first step, and maybe the most important, is to save up money. The biggest mistake I see new agents make, including myself at the time, is you don't have enough startup funds for stuff like the initial investments, initial fees, subscriptions, and any type of recurring charges. I would try to have up at least $3,000 saved up to get the license and start working at a brokerage, as well as an extra $1,000 in steady income per month to fund your real estate career. And even with $1,000 a month in steady income, I would say around $800 of it per month is going towards fees and subscriptions, or just necessary apps you need to be a realtor. For example, one of these is Centralock, which is how you get into homes. Another could be a desk fee that your brokerage charges if you have some type of cubicle. So you might have to pay monthly for that as well. Here's a real example that just happened to me. I recently was trying to go after expired listings. That's for another video. But in order to get the phone numbers for expireds, you would need to buy them. The easiest way to do this would be to get a dialer, which is around $200 a month. Admittedly very beneficial, but that's a lot of money for new agents. And that is why I say $1,000 instead of $800, so you have the extra $200 for a little bit of wiggle room in case you want to do any type of marketing, mailers, Facebook advertisements, whatever it may be. Either way, it costs a lot of money, and stick around to the end of the video because I'll be going over how to use some connections and other methods to save money along the way. Now for the second step, which might be the most important long term, and it is finding the correct brokerage. And here's the reasoning: money, support. The general rule of thumb is the more your company supports you, the more money they take. It does suck, but it just kind of makes sense. It works that way. Now, I currently work for Century 21 Redwood. I love it there. And I am in the beginner tier, which means it is a 50-50 split, and they also charge a $395 fee for all of my transactions. That is a lot of money. I'm not going to deny that. Here's an actual example. On my last transaction, there was a 2.5% commission, which is very standard, and that came out to about $9,200 that was supposed to go right into my pocket. However, after the 50-50 split, after the $395 fee, and after putting aside a little bit for taxes, it went from $9,200 to $3,700 in the blink of an eye. I didn't even get to touch the money. And keep in mind, I still have a mountain of other fees and subscriptions that I have to pay for just to stay in business. Just to be clear, I like my company, and I am okay paying this amount of money because I know that it is not forever. After I close a total of 5 transactions, it will go down to a 70-30 split in my favor, and it will only get better the more homes that I close. I'm also getting a significant amount of mentorship as well as support from my company. My coworkers are some of the best in Virginia and even the US, so just being in a one-on-one office environment with them, that opens the door to an insane amount of opportunity as well as basically free mentorship from them. For example, my 2 coworkers, Ben Kwan and Denise Smith, I have sat down with them one-on-one. We've brainstormed my business plan for hours on hours, entirely free, just because they wanted to. And you can't really pay for that amount of education and mentorship. I think that one-on-one time with them is definitely worth the 50-50 split, especially since, again, it is temporary. Now, there are brokerages out there that offer a full 100% commission. They don't take a dime from you, but you usually don't get any type of support or mentorship. And sometimes you don't even get a desk or a cubicle in the office, and there's no company name value either. It's just like John Doe Realty. You know, no one knows it. So maybe that's better when you already have clients, but not starting out. So how do you even go and find a brokerage to work at? Well, you just simply look online and start making some calls. If you go on Indeed right now, there are hundreds of listings asking for real estate agents to join their company. Call each office that you're interested in, even if they're not on Indeed, and ask to speak with the managing broker, branch manager, whatever it may be. Talk to them about your experience and why you want to be an agent, and see if they have any type of agent openings. Try an interview with them in person. That's what I usually recommend. And now this is the important part, so please pay attention. Make sure to ask if they have some type of offer where they will actually pay for your education and pay to get your license if you sign on with them afterwards. Many brokerages will actually completely pay for the education and testing if you sign some contracts beforehand, saying that you will 100% work for them. But again, before you do this, make sure that this brokerage is the right one for you. I would highly recommend doing some math on your own and interviewing with several brokerages before choosing the right one. And that is how you can save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars immediately. Now keep watching because a lot of people tend to ignore this next step when it's probably the most important. Pause, but before we go to the next step, please take a moment to subscribe. I currently have 8 subscribers, and all of them are my other Google accounts. This is kind of my first video. If you want to buy, sell, or lease a home, no matter where you are in the world, go DM me on Instagram, Facebook, or even LinkedIn since I check all 3 every single day. I personally work out of Virginia, but I have friends all over the world, and I'm always willing to give some free advice. I also have another channel where I tour homes in virtual reality, so subscribe to that one too. Okay, now back to the video. So step 3, buy and take a course. I know, more money. There are so many of them out there, but if you follow the previous step, your brokerage might just tell you which one to go to. If not, I personally use this website called the CE Shop, and I guess they were okay, like a 5 out of 10, but they were really cheap, so that's kind of why I went with them. I would just try to find one with decent reviews, maybe watch some YouTube videos about them, and make sure that it is certified by the National Board of Realtors. Oh, and also, this one's important. Make sure there's some type of pass guarantee, and I will go over what that means later on in the video. One of the biggest mistakes I see people making all the time is that they take the course very lightly and just kind of try to fly through it very fast. No, you shouldn't do that. You should be taking notes and taking the material seriously because it will cost you money in the long run if you mess up. Most courses have a time limit on them before they expire. And they also need you to pass a proctored exam usually in order to just pass the course. And to pass the course, a lot of the times you need an 80 to an 85% at a minimum, which is definitely more than the 70% we had in school. Now, I do have a small workaround in order to save a little bit of money in the next step, so let's get on to it. Alright, so step 4 is taking the actual exams. After you pass the proctored course exam, you will finally become eligible to take the official national and state exams. Every single attempt costs you a minimum of $60, so you are burning through so much money with every single attempt. You do get unlimited attempts, and thankfully when you pass one section of it, you don't have to repeat it next time. The issue is that it is a super difficult exam, and most people don't pass on the first go. I had to take it twice. I ended up failing the first time, but passed my second because I heavily underestimated how bad the exam actually was. In my defense, I did my due diligence on the course, and I did study the exam, took practice tests, and across the practice exams, I was scoring at least an 80% on the average. So I thought it would be okay, but I was dead wrong. I ended up failing both sections on my first go. The test questions I realized are a lot more tricky and generally more difficult. And there could even just be some nerves or bad luck that get in the way that cause you to fail. In my opinion, you should be scoring at minimum a 90% on all practice exams before even taking the national and state portions a shot. A good thing though, which I mentioned in the previous step, is if you have something called a pass guarantee or something similar, then the course website that you used may actually end up paying in order for you to get a second attempt. But please make sure you read the fine print and read the details about it beforehand since, they obviously don't want to fork up money if they don't have to. A lot of them are very strict on their requirements. For example, with the CE Shop, they actually said in the fine print that I needed to take every single practice exam and score at least 90% on it in order for them to reimburse to take a second attempt at the test. But I didn't. I ended up skipping 1 or 2 tests because they were on incredibly easy portions of the exam that I was confident in. So I had to pay for every attempt on my own. And now we get to the absolute hardest step, so please stick around for that. Step 5. Now you actually have to start work. Oh wait, but first, the state needs to activate your license, which takes 8 weeks. And then you can start working. Oh wait, again, you can't yet, because now you have to pay all of your fees and subscriptions up front, or else you can't even become a realtor. Now, I just went ahead and wrote down a few of my fees, so I'll read them out. These are just ones that I could think of. My Central Lock dues, my Realtor Association dues, my Bright MLS dues, my Office Technology dues, my Century 21 Redwood dues, my name badge, my sign writers, and more that I can't think of right now. Also, don't forget that you actually have to take continued education afterwards in order to keep your license active. So that is more moolah being spent. But now, you're a real estate agent. And here comes the hardest part. Getting clients. But that's for an entire other video. So by now, you should have every step you need to become a real estate agent in your state. Anyways, this channel is all about making educational and entertaining finance content. So subscribe and hit the bell to receive updates on when I upload. And finally, don't forget to go down to the description and find my Facebook, Instagram, or even LinkedIn. Go DM me if you need to buy, sell, or rent a house. And I can help regardless of where you live. Alright, that's it. Have a nice day.